this is my case story. I think this is very important for me to share. So this lake that you see is actually, they say that this is from where my community originated. This is a lake which is called Mansar, Surinsar. They're very ancient lakes, millions of years old geologically, and they are a Ramsar site. The turtles that are there in it are red listed. So they are a hydrogeologically, they are a very important site. So I have been visiting this site right from my childhood because it was our sacred space. A lot of family rituals happened in this space. A couple of years ago, I would say about 2 decades ago, I started to observe that something is changing in the lake. So, see, I've been watching it since childhood, and with every visit, I kind of see things. I started to see that a different kind of a fish had taken over. It has started to come to the shore and started to seek food. So much so that even turtles has started to come on the shore and seek food. It happened with me. When I was a child, turtles were very shy. They will never come near. They will run away if we go into the water. But this was really shocking that a turtle came and it snatched the food from my hand. So I started to dig into it, and in 2008, I wrote this story, and I found that by accident, by incompetence, or by probably, a bad intention, or on purpose, I don't know what, exotic carp species was introduced into this lake. Now, this lake is a very sacred lake because it is the abode of Vasuki Nag. Again, the Kashyapa linkage, the Rishi Kashyapa linkage. So it is the abode of Vasuki Nag. Everything about this lake was sacred. The little fish was sacred. The turtle was sacred. Everything was sacred about it. And the community wouldn't even swim through the lake diagonally because it was like you are breaching the space of the gods. But what happened? So when the big fish came in, it ate all the small fish. The small fish was in the food chain, the food of the turtles. The turtles didn't have food. So the entire food chain got shattered. Just look at how it looks. And this is not just with this lake. Even with the Ravalsar lake in Himachal, you see the carp even there also. And why it came into news? Because a couple of years ago, Ravalsar is linked with the story of Guru Padmasambhava. And why it came into the news? Because the fish started to die in large numbers. But if you dig further into it, that fish that started to die is not the indigenous species. It got into the lake somewhere, don't know how, and it ate away all the small fish, the indigenous species. And you further, dig into it, like this is a study that I have found out in Science Daily. It says that carp, it actually alters the entire water composition, the nutrient compositions of the water. It alters everything. And this picture that you see is from the twin lake Surinsar. So the locals were telling that this fish is actually eating the roots of the trees on the bank. These are mango trees. And because it has eaten up everything, everything is falling down. Just look at it. And in the 2020 plan of revival that has come up, after the abrogation of 2019, so there is a revival plan for these lakes. And it identifies over there that these lakes' dominant fish is introduced. But nobody has studied the actual ecological disaster that has already happened in this lake and many other Himalayan lakes probably. For example, Ravalsar. And what does the layperson know? He knows this lake is sacred. Whichever fish is there is sacred. So you cannot remove the fish because you would not kill the fish because the fish is sacred. But people don't know that this lake has come from somewhere else. This fish has come from somewhere else. So where is the concept of sacred? I felt very bad when I came to know about it in 2008 when I wrote this story. Because to me, everything was sacred. And the concept of sacredness that I grew up in my childhood, every object that was linked to it, I was not finding it in that lake. And probably most of us don't even bother. So these lakes are very important. I'm further, researching on these lakes, the origin of these lakes and how they are important, the history of Jammu and the history of Dogras.